Not all love is the same, and not every kind of love will last. From selfishness and conditions to family bonds and friendships, human love is often fragile. But love has levels, and at the summit stands God's perfect love, the only love that never fails. Self. Love can look strong, but it keeps you alone. At this level, love begins and ends with you. It feels safe, yet your world grows small and cold. Keep watching, because the cost shows up quietly. Many people believe this is enough for happiness. You ask what is in it for you. You ignore needs that do not benefit you. You shape relationships to gain advantage. It works for a while, then people feel used. Here is the first break in the story. If love ends with you, it is not love. It is comfort that looks like care, but it lacks heart. Deep down, you sense this path cannot last. Over time, selfish love removes connection. Friends stop calling. Partners feel unsafe and pull away. You get what you wanted, but joy does not come. Then one day, no one shows up. I saw a man reach the top of his field. His home was large, his car was new, and his calendar was full. On his birthday, his phone stayed quiet, and his table had one chair. Success stayed, but people were gone, and he felt empty. But there is a way out, and it starts small. Real love grows when it moves beyond self. You start to consider the other person, even when it costs you. The heart wakes up when it gives. Begin by noticing your patterns. Track how often you speak about your needs first, and pause. Choose one small act each day that serves someone else, with no return. Offer help, listen fully, or share credit for a win. Train your mind to see love as giving, not taking, and keep going when it feels hard. Here is the edge you must remember. When love ends with self, it is not love at all. It is hunger. Real love reaches beyond you, or it dies. The words are plain in Scripture. In the last days, people will be lovers of themselves. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 2. When you only look at yourself, you do not see the good in others. Today, choose one unselfish action and do it without praise or payment. Stay ready, because when love escapes selfishness, it often turns into an if, then deal, and that turn has its own traps. Conditional love says, I love you if you perform or please me. It looks stable, but it collapses the moment your behavior does not meet expectations. This is level 6, love with strings attached, where affection feels like a test. The fallout is bigger than you think, and it starts quietly. Many people believe love must be earned, so they live under pressure. You withdraw affection when disappointed, and you use silence to control behavior. You demand perfection before giving praise or support, even if you never say it. This pattern feels normal, until it begins to cost your peace and joy. Here is the crack in that belief. Real love is given, not earned. If love needs payment, it is not love, it is a deal. Contracts depend on performance, but true promises hold even when someone fails. That deal will not protect your heart for long enough. When love becomes a deal, relationships turn fragile and tense. You live with constant fear of rejection, and trust slowly breaks down. One missed goal becomes proof that you are not worthy, and shame grows. Stress rises, silence spreads, and the bond starts to crack. You stop taking risks in love. Picture a child who hears love mainly after top grades, awards, or praise. The child learns to chase approval and hide every weakness and mistake. As an adult, this child works late, pleases bosses, and fears coming home. Rest is hard, because love still feels like a test they can fail. The smile fades after one failure, and the wound deepens. But there is another way, and it can start today. True love is unconditional, and it does not need you to earn it. You can choose to give love even when behavior falls short or hurts. This shift brings peace and courage back into your conversations and home. There is a simple path forward. Start by giving one act of love that is not tied to performance. As God loved you first. When you feel disappointed, say, I love you, I am here, and we will grow. Keep affection steady while you correct actions, and let your words reflect God's acceptance. Use simple daily habits. Thank without a reason, and listen with full attention. When you slip into conditions, admit it quickly, ask forgiveness, and try again. Conditional love is a contract that measures and counts performances. Real love is a covenant, a binding promise that chooses to stay. Contracts end when terms are broken, but covenants repair and continue. Choose the promise over the deal, because only one builds a safe life. Here is the proof. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Romans 5:8. This is love given before performance, given as a gift to the unworthy. So practice unearned love today, and watch fear lose power in your home. Beyond conditions, many people rely on family loyalty, but even that love has limits, and you will feel it soon. Family love is strong, and you feel it in your bones. It gives safety, history, and loyalty, yet it can still close you off. The bond is real, but the circle can be small. There is more to love than this, and it will stretch you in a new way. Many people see family love as the top goal. You protect your own first and last. You smile at home but turn quiet in public. You share warmth at the table but walk past someone in need. This path seems wise, but it is not the summit. Love grows best when it reaches beyond blood ties. When love stops at the edge of your home, it starts to shrink. A new way of seeing begins to form. If you keep family love turned inward only, it warps your heart. It breeds favoritism, division, and even a kind of worship of family. You start to excuse harm if it helps your own. Then the damage spreads, fast. Picture a house filled with plenty while a neighbor next door feels pain. The family protects every minute for themselves and keeps the door shut. A man falls on the steps outside, and no one comes to help. Lights flash later, and the street grows quiet. The warm room feels smaller after that night. But there is a better turn you can take today. Love is not meant to stop at family boundaries. You can keep your loyalty and still care for people outside your home. When you do, your love grows, not lessens. Start by cherishing your family with time, words, and steady care. Then extend it. Choose one neighbor or coworker to help this week in a clear way. Invite someone outside your family to share a meal and a real talk. Treat your faith community as family too by learning names, giving rides, and praying for people by name. Let your children join these acts so their love grows wider. Here is the edge you must hold. Family love is precious, but it is not the summit of love. It is a training ground for a larger heart. Do not stop at good when more is possible. Jesus said, "If you love those who love you, what reward will you get?" Matthew 5:46. I once met a family whose home had heat and food during a winter outage. While the neighbor's heater failed, they brought soup, blankets, and a spare heater, and then checked in each night. Their home felt stronger after they shared what they had. Keep moving, because friendship love now steps forward, strong, faithful, and still fragile, waiting for its own test. Friendship love feels strong, yet it can fail faster than you expect. You choose each other, and that choice brings trust, laughter, and safety. Still, this friendship stays fragile because people change and hard times test hearts. You will see how to help it last. Many people think real friends never fall apart, so they stop doing the work. You share everything and expect loyalty, and you think that is enough. When conflict comes, you go silent, avoid hard talks, or simply disappear. You invest time and money, but you do not stay present during trials. That belief is false, and it causes pain. Friendship is a gift, not a guarantee, and it needs care to grow. It needs truth and forgiveness, or it will end when stress arrives. Only God's love does not break, so hold your hope there. When trust breaks, the pain can last for years and shape your choices. A deep friendship can turn into a source of constant fear and anger. You start to read every message with fear and expect more harm. You stop caring for others, and even new friends feel the effects. It gets worse. A lifelong friend breaks your trust by sharing your private story. People talk, and you feel ashamed and alone. You avoid gatherings, stop answering calls, and refuse help. I once watched a birthday party turn silent because two friends would not speak. You start to believe love is not safe anymore. But then you remember Jesus, who stays loyal when you fail. Jesus keeps his word, tells you the truth, and forgives again and again. True friendship learns from him and reflects his faithfulness in small choices. Follow his way, and your friendships can grow honest and strong. Here is how that looks each day. Speak truth kindly, even when it is awkward, and keep your promises. Admit wrong fast. Ask for forgiveness, and give forgiveness. Do not bring up the past. Choose a few close friends instead of many casual ones, and be consistent. Show up, protect their story, celebrate their wins, and grieve with them. Pray for your friends by name, and ask God to shape the friendship. Friendship is a gift, but only God's love makes it unbreakable. Treasure your friends, but do not expect them to be perfect. Keep your trust in God, and you can love with freedom and courage. When friends fail, you can grieve, heal, and start again. A friend loves at all times. Proverbs 17:17. Look at David and Jonathan, who stayed loyal through danger, distance, and pressure. Take one step today. Choose one friend. Speak truth, forgive, and rebuild trust. Do this with patience and prayer, and watch your care include more people. Soon, the same faithfulness will move beyond your circle and reach strangers. You say you love God and people. The real test shows up with strangers. Compassion is love that reaches beyond your circle and acts. It moves toward pain, even when it costs you time and comfort. The next scene will challenge you. Many people think compassion is optional. They say it belongs to kind people, not everyone, so they ignore the poor, avoid any cost, and walk past people in need. This is common, and it feels safe, but that view starts to crack when you slow down and look. Love without action is empty, and you feel it in your gut. Real love notices pain and moves toward it, even with strangers. When compassion dies, love becomes small and selfish. Communities grow harsh, and people stop trusting each other. People look away, and suffering multiplies. Then a moment arrives that forces a choice. A priest sees a wounded man on the road and keeps walking. He has duty, but no mercy, and the man bleeds alone. His love was only part of his routine, and it could not help. Silence felt safe, but it left a person to die. But then a simple truth breaks in. Compassion is love in action. It sees pain, stops, and helps, even when it costs you. Your hands can be the turning point. Start by opening your eyes to real needs around you. Slow down, notice faces, and listen for pain in simple words. Take risks to show mercy, like changing plans, giving time, or spending money. Cross lines of culture and class with respect, and serve without making a scene. Keep moving toward the person, not away from them. Here is the point you must feel. Compassion proves that love is alive. If love does not move, it is not love. Choose action over comfort, again and again. Luke 10:33 says, But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. He stopped his trip, lifted the man up, and paid for care. Do the same in your world today, even if it bends your plans. Find one stranger to help, and act before the moment passes. Soon you will learn how love serves even those who oppose you. I think love stops at your friends, but agape service goes further. It gives without reward, even to the one who harmed you. This is loving without limits, and it is not easy, but the cost and the reward will surprise you. Many people believe only friends deserve love, and enemies deserve distance. You avoid those who mistreat you and cut them from your day. You block numbers, ignore messages, and clap back online without thinking. When pain hits, you repay it fast instead of blessing them. It feels normal, but it will trap you. But here a change begins, and your old rule no longer makes sense. Real love is not only for friends, it reaches enemies too. Agape love is patient and gives for the other's good, regardless of response. This kind of love takes back the power others once held over you. Everything begins to shift. Without agape love, hatred and revenge repeat again and again. The harm does not end. It continues into new fights and fresh fear. Families break, churches split, and streets turn tense. The cycle continues until someone chooses a different way. Not many do. I met a believer who refused to forgive a hard betrayal. Years passed, and bitterness controlled their daily life. They spoke about peace, but could not sleep, eat, or trust. The offenders still guided their choices, even when far away. They felt strong by holding the grudge, yet they were the ones losing peace. But then you see the heart of Christ, and a new way appears. He loved those who hated him, and he stayed faithful under pain. When you love enemies, you act like him and break the rule of payback. This is strength, not weakness, and it makes your life more free. So you start small and simple, with actions you can repeat. Pray for those who oppose you, and speak their names with honesty. Do good for them without asking for anything back, even if they refuse. Serve when it costs time, comfort, or money, and keep your motive clean. God sees, and he will train your heart through each act. Here is the core you must remember. Agape love conquers hate with grace. It does not wait for feelings. It chooses the next loving action. It is steady under pressure, and it endures when others quit. Grace wins where force fails. Jesus spoke clearly. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Matthew 5:44. On the cross, he asked the Father to forgive the men killing him. This is your pattern today, so take one step before the day ends. Choose one enemy, pray for them, do them good, and serve at a cost. Above even agape service stands perfect love itself, the source of all love, still to come. You want a love that lasts, but your strength runs out. The highest love does not fail, does not end, and does not give up. God's love changes you and every relationship you touch today. The way into it may surprise you, and it changes everything ahead. Many people think human love is enough. You try harder, give more, and stay strong by willpower. You forgive halfway, yet keep a quiet record inside your mind. You hold on alone until your patience runs thin. But a new thought breaks in. Human love reaches limits, but God's love has no limit. It is patient, kind, eternal, and unfailing. The Holy Spirit gives this love to believers so they can love like God. Without God's love as your source, even strong bonds start to fail. Illness appears, money is tight, betrayal stings, or deep misunderstandings set in. Human love alone turns into defense, blame, and distance. The relationship ends. I once sat with a couple who built only on human love. A hard season came, and their promises did not help. Words grew sharp, sleep moved to separate rooms, and plans stopped. They sat at one table, but no one spoke. But then a clear shift begins. You see that God's love makes all lasting love possible. You stop trying to be your own source, and you start receiving daily. As you receive, your words soften, your choices change, and you begin to heal inside. Begin by receiving God's love each morning in a simple way. Sit in quiet, breathe slowly, and say, God, I receive your love today. Reflect his love in every relationship by forgiving fully, speaking gently, and serving faithfully. End each day by resting in his care. Release control, give thanks, and sleep in peace. Here is the core truth you can hold. God's love never fails. Let this lead you and direct your steps. Scripture says, love never fails. 1 Corinthians 13:8. Look at the cross of Jesus Christ, the greatest display of love. He gave himself for you at great cost, and he did not quit. Receive that love now, share it freely, and watch how it changes every bond you carry next.